After a quiet April with no storm chasing whatsoever, we were definitely itching to get out and chase peak season storms by the time May came around. Finals had just ended for all of us Iowa State students, so we really had nothing better to do than to go out and storm chase.
We were going to go out to Kansas, central Kansas. I think we stopped south of Salina, roughly in that region, and waited for storms to fire along the dry line. Unfortunately, a lot of that day was going to be capped, and we knew that was going to be an issue to begin with. So we kind of hung out for a while and waited for towers to go up. And then at about 4 o'clock, to my memory or so, we had our first initial towers to break the cap and go. Dress is a little rough here.
By the start of the event, we really didn't have any low-level jet going yet, and moisture was still coming. It was still pretty dry and high-base storms, so it was really a pretty uneventful start to the setup. But it was Kansas, so of course every storm that did happen was absolutely gorgeous.
Lost us 57 years.
So as we got towards sunset, storms started to get really ragged, and a lot of cold pooling outflow boundaries got mixed in, and we saw cool storms and whatnot, and the sunset definitely led to some beautiful backlit supercell structures and updrafts and back-sheared anvils, but for the most part it was pretty uneventful for what it was worth, and kind of a little bit disappointing for what we found.
By the time sunset came, we had storms starting to merge off to our east, and we wanted to catch up and get ahead so that we could see the shelf cloud. But over the next hour, and by the time it got dark, we had really not made up any ground on the storm whatsoever. So we decided to sit back and just enjoy the awesome lightning show of all of the back storms. After we had sat and watched the lightning for a good half an hour, we actually started packing up and we're about to head to Salina to get some food. But as we were driving, Taryn actually pointed out that there was a new tornado warning on a supercell that was off to our west.
We got to just near Salina and then realized a supercell was able to form back west, probably about 20 or so miles behind us. And it looked really good on radar, had a beautiful hook echo, very classic looking supercell on radar, and we decided to go for it.
Lightning, look at that thing, man.
I don't know about the roads. Do we just want to keep going straight now?
Let's take a spot and sit out here, see what we're dealing with, because we've got a great view.
South eventually, I think.
So why don't we just use this to set up then? Yeah. So set up right here.
We were able to see a illuminated supercell structure that had constant lightning and thunder. The lightning, I argue to say, you had one flash every quarter of a second or less, just permanent lightning.
Okay, let's slow down right up top of the hill here, because there is a lowering inside of that wall cloud. Don't pull too far off, it's muddy.
Oh, I'm super out of focus, okay.
Good heavens, dude. Oh my good lord.
A very low wall cloud. Nice thing is that there's so much light from the city that there's like we're able to get a good view even without the lightning. So if there was a tornado, it would be.
After the storm had caught up to us, we got some food and made the overnight trip of 7 hours back to Ames. And overall the day had felt like more of a bust, even though we had seen some good storms. But by the time I got back, I started editing the time lapse and it turned out to be one of my favorite clips that I've ever taken.